Okay guys, just going to give a quick update on what I'll be doing going forward. As I mentioned in the preview for Devonport, I'm going to sort of be quiet for the next month or so, just trying to get a bit of enjoyment out and cheer them on when I do back one. So going forwards, I'll just post the tips on the night before the meeting. Tend to get about 50 views of each video, so obviously got a few people out there who are half interested in what I put up. Obviously I'll attach a link to put this spreadsheet online somehow once I sort of work out how to do that, but it is something I'd probably recommend most people to do. Like even if you just want to look into the data, like just so we make a table and like that, and you can just muck around and sort of check your record at each track and stuff like that. So just say, what's my Devonport record like? And as I mentioned yesterday, I really struggled early on until I worked out barriers and that type of thing. And even the two that got beaten, GG Spitfire every possible, we got beaten by half a length, and Cathonius got done on the line. So I think I've finally got a grip on Devonport. And you can check everything, like how you go with specific jockeys. Like I tend to back Siggy Carr a lot. So if you just look at it, looks a bit like a Christmas wrapping for a Christmas decoration with all the red and green, but obviously green are winners, red are placed, so it's actually been either good or bad when I back Siggy. So but obviously on the right side of the ledger there'd obviously be a few. I've got a couple on the list. I'll just see how they look. So actually so if I a couple here that are on my list, so yeah, and there we go, we're all red, all unplaced every time I've backed a couple of jockeys there. So, and quite fittingly Haley knocked me off in the last race today. So yeah, it's just find it sort of handy like that. So you can even sort by date, like how do I go in 2017 or anything like that. You can just select all your winners, have a look if there's any common themes. When I do look through, there's a common theme that senior jockeys, sort of nearly all of them. You've got one there with Tegan, but the rest of them are nearly all Sherry Barr. I backed his nibs at place, so it was about $1.30 favourite in the race. Yeah, but this will be something actually if I just delve into that a bit more and just select, say, the lower profile, the apprentices, lower profile jockeys. Each time I've backed them, how it's turned out for me. Actually, where are the rest? Actually, wait, we've only got the winners up there. That's why the rest of them aren't there. Sorry about that. So now if I go into and just select these, I'll put Amarul in there, even though he's not riding anymore here. Graham, Craig Luttrell, so as mentioned, you can sort of just drill into it a little bit like that, and so as you can see, I've got 3 winners out of about 20 or so bets when I back the lower profile jockeys. So there is a reason others are at the top of the tree, I suppose. So yeah, it's just good to look into that and in that way. So as mentioned, so it's not if you follow these tips, it's not going to make you, it's no get-rich-quick type scheme, but you should finish on the right side of the ledger. So I just obviously got the full totals here. So 121 bets and profit of about $75 if you're betting a dollar each bet. Actually, if I've just put it in graphical form here as well, so you can see obviously the orange line's the return and the blue line's the outlay. So you can see it's been pretty consistent curve over time. There's no peaks and troughs, so it's a bit like turtle investing if you're following it though. Yeah, so that's over 18 months. So if you just say at $100 in each one of them, you've won 7,500 over 18 months, about 5,000 per annum. So yeah, there's no fly-by-night type scheme there. So, but if you want an interest on Tassie Racing on a Sunday arvo, just pick a couple out. So the theme will be pretty much what I did today. I'll try and pick out one that one good thing and one at a bit of value, even though Spitfire was backed off the map. You know, still at $6, $6.50 early. So yeah, so we'll try and pick one out that I'm pretty confident on, another one for a result going forwards. But so as I mentioned, for Sunday meetings, I'll try and put them up about 5 o'clock, just as the corps are going up on Saturday nights for anybody who wants to follow. And as I mentioned, I will try and get this spreadsheet up there as well. But as I said, I do recommend sort of chucking stuff into Excel. It's amazing thing, and obviously gives you plenty of things. You can even do other things like barriers they drew, track condition, etc., etc. But you know, the noticeable, easy for me to say, thing that I've noticed is that senior jockeys, and when I look at, actually if I go to all tracks again, the other constant if I select the unplaced ones and the runners, most of these are get back horses. George's Gamble, His News, Valerius, Speed on Over, Killen Falls, It's a Battle, Chief Navigator, etc. So that's just another thing obviously I'm taking into account now, because there's no point doing this unless you're going to learn from your mistakes. As I mentioned there yesterday, I was making Devonport, I didn't really understand the track condition and that type of thing, where you needed to be in the run and stuff, and as soon as I isolated that, and so you can see I turned the corner there, and as I mentioned on the last meeting, I didn't actually do a preview, so I can't include any, but the 3 horses I tipped on Twitter all won as well, so pretty confident that I've actually learnt from these mistakes. Like I've backed It's a Battle, EastEnder, Pelagia, like they all got back. That's Death Wish around Devonport. Chasing Status, he's just not much chop. And yeah, so anyway guys, it just sort of fill you in the loop. As I said, I've been pretty much a regular on social media, going to sort of be a bit quiet for a little while, but still chime in from time to time. But until then, I'll pop something up before next weekend's card. But anyway, thanks again. Cheers, guys.